All stories are Anansi's. Long ago, there were no stories on earth. It was believed that all stories belonged to the sky god Nyame, who kept the stories in a box beneath his throne. Because they had no stories to share, the people of the earth just sat around their campfires. One day, looking down from his web, Anansi the spider could see that the people were restless and bored. Anansi decided he would bring them something that would make them happy and would help them pass the time. Anansi stretched his 8 legs and wove a wonderful web that reached all the way to the sky. He climbed up the web until he arrived at the throne of the sky god Nyame, the keeper of all stories. "Nyame," he said, "wise one, great god of the sky, will you tell me have the great box where you keep the stories? I would like to take the stories to the people who live on the earth." "I will give you the box of stories," said Nyame in a booming voice, "but the price is high. You must bring me 3 things. Onini, the great python who can swallow a goat. Osebo, the mighty leopard whose teeth are as sharp as spears. And Moboro, the hornet whose sting burns like a needle of fire." "I will pay the price," said Anansi. Anansi went back down to earth on his web. He went to speak with his wife, Aso. Together, they made a plan to capture Onini, the great python who could swallow a goat. The next morning, Anansi walked into the forest, waving a big branch and talking to himself. "She is wrong," he said, pretending to be very upset. "I know she is. He is much longer than this branch." As Anansi approached the watering hole, a large snake rose up. It was Onini, the great python who can swallow a goat. "What are you talking about, Anansi?" asked Onini. "You are disturbing me." "I quarrel with my wife," said Anansi. "She says that you are shorter than this branch, but I say you are longer. She will not listen to me, and I do not see how I can prove that I am right." "That is easy," said Onini. "Lay your branch on the ground, and I will lie next to it. Then you shall see that I am longer." The great snake lay next to Anansi's branch. "It looks like you may be longer," said Anansi, "but I can't tell for sure because you are not quite straightened out. Could I straighten you out a bit?" "Certainly," said Onini. "Let me fasten your tail at this end," said Anansi as he worked. "That way I can really straighten you out, and also here a little lower, and here by your head." Before the python realized what Anansi was doing, Anansi spun a web and used it to tie Onini to the branch. "Now you are caught," said Anansi. With that, Anansi carried Onini the python to Nyame. "That is one thing," said Nyame in a loud voice. "2 things remain." Anansi went back to earth and began to make his next plan to catch Osebo, the mighty leopard with teeth as sharp as spears. He dug a deep hole on the path Osebo used to get to the watering hole. He laid branches across the hole and covered the branches with sticks and leaves and dirt. When Anansi was sure that the hole was well hidden, he went back home and went to sleep. When Osebo came out to hunt during the night, he fell right into Anansi's trap. Anansi found him down in the hole the next morning. "Osebo," said Anansi, "what are you doing down that hole?" "You fool," said Osebo, "can't you see that I have fallen into a trap? You must help me get out." "I will see what I can do," said Anansi. Anansi found a large willow tree and bent the top of the tree over the pit. He spun 2 silky cords and used them to fasten the tree. Then he spun another silky cord and attached it to the top of the tree. This 3rd cord dangled down into the pit. "Tie the cord to your tail," said Anansi. "Then I will lift you up." Osebo tied the web to his tail. Anansi cut the cords that were holding the tree down. The tree returned to its original position, carrying Osebo with it. Osebo dangled from the tree. "Now you are caught," said Anansi. Anansi tightly tied the ends of the web and dragged Osebo the leopard to Nyame. Now the sky god was impressed. "That is 2 things," said Nyame. "Only 1 thing remains." Anansi went back to earth to catch Moboro, the hornet whose sting burned like a needle of fire. He cut a gourd and hollowed out the inside. Then he filled the gourd with water and went to the nest where Moboro the hornet made his home. Anansi poured some of the water in the gourd over his own head. Then he poured the rest of the water on the hornet's nest. Moboro the hornet came out, buzzing angrily. He saw Anansi standing nearby, holding a leaf over his head. "Oh my," said Anansi, "the rainy season seemed to have come earlier this year, and it looks like you have no shelter from the rain. Why don't you take shelter in my gourd until the rain goes away?" "Thank you, Anansi," said Moboro the hornet, as he flew into the gourd. "You're welcome," said Anansi, as he closed up the opening in the gourd with his leaf and fastened the leaf with his web. "Now you are caught," said Anansi. Anansi proudly carried Moboro the hornet to Nyame. "That is the last thing," said Nyame. "You succeeded, Anansi, where many before you failed. You paid the price." Then Nyame called out, in a voice like thunder, "Listen to me. Anansi paid the price for the stories of the sky god, and I give the stories to him. From this day, all of the stories belong to Anansi. Whenever someone tells one of these stories, he or she must know that it is Anansi's tale." Anansi took the box of stories back to earth and shared them with the people. They were grateful for the stories and told them over and over to their children and to their children's children, who told them to their children, and so on. Even to this day, these stories are known as spider stories.